Well, guys, welcome back to the channel. And I've got to say, looking at the news that's just come out from Craig Hope, so take it with a pinch of salt here, because we know Craig Hope can be a little bit dodgy at times with his reports. But you're saying that Martin Dubravka is set to stay beyond the January transfer window now after positive talks with Newcastle United. He also goes on to say that Almiron is set to make a 10 million move to the MLS, obviously to Atlanta United, as that is where he has been heavily linked with. And of course, he was being reported to be having a medical and all that with them. Obviously, I reported a few days back, that the deal was done. And from what it seems, it looks like that is the case. The deal is done. Obviously, just the medical to be done on it. But according to Craig Hope here, he is saying that he is set to complete that 10 million move to the MLS. Obviously, yesterday as well, there was massive reports coming from Italy saying that Lloyd Kelly was being linked with a move to Juventus. Obviously, Juve were trying to loan him with an option to buy. Newcastle rejected that, according to reports coming from, I think it was Ben Jacobs that put the report out on that one. Yeah, it was Ben Jacobs that put a report out saying Newcastle had rejected an approach from Juve for Lloyd Kelly because of them wanting to have a loan with an option to buy at the end, of course, of the loan. But then, of course, Newcastle came out and said, reports say that Newcastle came out and said that the valuation was 25 million for Lloyd Kelly, 30 million euros, of course, for Juve that would be. And I've got to say, that is a pretty high evaluation, but if we can get it, then that would be absolutely amazing. At the end of the day, we brought this lad in for free just in the summer. He's barely been here that long. So if we could move him on, and get that kind of money in, I think we've got to be looking at that option. We can't be, turning that away. We can't be turning our noses up at that, because that is a really good deal for somebody that at the moment, right now, is, probably second choice left back. And then maybe he's in the centre back positions, probably about fourth choice, third choice, maybe, in the centre back roles. So definitely something that we'll have to be looking at, and we can't be turning our nose up at. If Juve are going to come in and they're going to offer us 30 million euros, 25 million pounds, I think that's a deal that we've definitely got to be considering. And then, you add in the fee that is being rumoured here by Craig Hope for Almiron of 10 million pounds to the MLS. That's going to give us, 35 million, which then we're kind of modernisation on that. We can put that into that FFP and allows we're then to be able to go out and spend maybe in this window. But at the moment, it looks like, with 15 days left of this transfer window, it doesn't look like we're really going to be getting anybody in. I think this window is being more of a window where we see players move on, trying to loosen up the bill a bit, because I think in the summer we're going to be going heavy, we're going to be going strong. Once we know, the valuation of everything, once we know what kind of money we've got coming in at the end of the season for TV revenue, sponsorship money and all that as well. And then, we'll kind of assess the situation, see how much, leg room we've got in that FFP, APT department, and then, address the situation then maybe, but I think at the moment it doesn't look like we are going to be signing anybody in this window, but you never know, never say never, because there could be a chance that, we could sign somebody in this window. I mean, there's an area that Newcastle aren't really looking at the moment, and I have said it many, many times before on this channel, but there's an area that Newcastle aren't looking at the moment, and that is the free market. We've got to be looking at them free agents. There's some absolutely amazing players on that free agency department at the moment. Jonathan David would do really well for us. Really good striker, knows what he's doing. Obviously, we've got Isak, but we could use Jonathan David in the squad as a backup rotation player. Switch him in and out with Isak so that Isak doesn't have to play as many games. Helps Isak's legs over the long haul of the season as well, because next season, who knows, if it keeps going the way we're going at the moment, we could be getting that European football once again, and we're going to need to be able to switch with team in and out. We can't be playing the same players over and over again, because then we're going to have another situation like we had last season, where we're seeing ourselves in Europe, we're getting shite tons of injuries, and it was all because we didn't have enough depth in the squad to be able to switch the squad out between league games, cup games, and the Champions League games. So that's something that we've got to be looking at. I definitely think that is an area that we're not utilising at the moment. We've got to be looking at that free agency market, and like I say, there's some really good players on there. Just example, like I mentioned, Jonathan David would do absolutely amazing forward. There's plenty more on there as well that would do jobs forward. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Fresh off the press from Craig Hope putting out on social media, of course, saying Martin Dubravka set to stay beyond the January transfer window after positive talks with the club, and Almiron looks set to complete his 10 million transfer to the MLS. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below on that. Hit like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep these subscribers going as well with 2,213, trying to reach that 2.5k milestone. So keep hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free. There's about 19,000 people in the last 90 days that have been watching the content and are returning to the content, but still haven't hit that button. It's completely free. What you're waiting for, hit that button please, as it does help the channel to grow. Till next time, I'll see you all later, and how are the lads?